round one today. I'm really excited. I think I've got everything now. I'm actually using mortar mix instead of concrete because all of the concrete mixes had an aggregate in it, which is like big chunks of stuff to make it stronger and help it hold together. And where I'm doing really small stuff, I wanted it to be super fine. And the only fine concrete mixes they had at Home Depot were ones that you had to mix sand and other stuff into. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to add in water. So I've got the mix. My aunt picked up a bucket for me today and rubber gloves. I've got rubber gloves. I've got face masks. You can get these at the dollar store, so they're always a good thing. Wow, fancy. Always a good thing to have around. I think I'm going to do this outside so that it's ventilated. Okay, so I've got my mask and gloves. I've got a whisk for mixing it. These are they're actually silicone resin molds, but they said you could use them for concrete as well. It should come right off. So I got a set of those off Amazon. Got 2 coasters. This is actually an ashtray, but this little piece is the only thing that makes it an ashtray, so I might take an X-Acto knife and cut that out. I've got a beaker for mixing your resin. This is a cute little like geometric diamondy cut bowl thingy. And then a round one and a square thing and a few pendant shapes. Some sticks, some squeezy thingies. And then I have my mortar mix and my bucket out on the porch. Okay, I've got a bowl. And I know it seems really fancy, but this is actually a bowl that I used for doing bath bombs at craft fairs. I put water in it and then put little pieces in to show people. So this is a craft bowl anyway. Basically, I don't care if it gets ruined. So I think that's everything. I've got my hair up, got my face mask on. I also have some cooking spray. I just noticed it's made with flour, so I hope that doesn't mess anything up. Some of the places that I found on how to do this said to spray your mold with cooking spray first so that it doesn't stick. And that was for the concrete specifically. But if you get oil on concrete or mortar or anything, it usually stains it. You get like an oil stain on your like a basement floor or something. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work. But I'm gonna try this the first time because I mean, if my pieces get ruined, oh well. But I don't want to ruin my molds. So if that stains the mortar, I'll try it again without the spray, and hopefully it still comes out of my molds. So. Do this. Okay. So I got that in the bucket. Got some water, didn't measure it. Because the instructions were like 5 quarts of water to a whole bag or something like that. And it said go for the consistency that it will not come off your trowel. We just gonna play with it. I put way too much water. I think that's a good consistency. We'll try it. There's the one cooking oil I get is the fun one. So at this point my phone got overheated and shut off and stopped filming. so I really didn't get anything but mixing it up, but I got it mixed up. I kept it kind of thin. I hope it's not going to mess it up or anything, but I wanted to make sure I could get like in little crevices and everything. I did spray the molds down. Of course, the one spray cooking oil that I choose has like flour in it, so it foams up. Of course, I get the foamy oil. But I didn't do all of my molds, I just did a few of them just in case it ruins them. I didn't ruin all of them at once. But I'm gonna let it set. I think it's gonna take a few days. I'm not sure how I'm going to move them. They're out on my back steps right now, so maybe I'll put them on a cookie sheet or something and bring them in. Okay, so it's only been about an hour since I put these in, and it's already drying out. It's separated from the edge, so it's shrunk a little bit. And I was reading up, and it says that the slower your mortar dries, the stronger it will be. So you like try to keep it wet for a couple of days. So I'm gonna put some water in this. Whoa. Okay. Maybe I waited too long. Maybe it dried out too much already. So I did this on Thursday. Today's Tuesday, so it's had plenty of time to dry. It said 24 to 48 hours. Now this one obviously broke. I dropped it. Now the other ones I haven't done anything with other than this one. I'm like, how is this gonna come out? And I was playing with it and I broke it and it fell out. So I've got these two pieces left. So these are the two pieces that I mixed and poured in there, and I've just left them to dry. So I'm gonna try taking them out now and see how it comes out. Okay. I'm gonna point out right there, that kind of foamy corner piece, that is from the oil. And I don't know if you can see, it has come away from the edge a little bit on its own. I don't know if I use too much water, if that's what it's supposed to do. But if I mix it to the same consistency next time, it should be able to come right out if it shrinks without having to use the oil. No, I don't want to break it. Okay, not too bad. So it took the shape well. All four of the corners cracked. That must be because of when it shrank a little bit, it had to let go somewhere, so the corners busted. So there's that. Let's try this one. And I have a feeling this stuff isn't going to be as strong as I want. So what the heck is that? So I'll have to mess around with it a little bit. The molds are nice and flexible though. Let's see. Okay. This is actually a super small crochet hook. I'm just gonna see if I can get that to release. But at the very least, this at least gives me a surface, because I want to paint, I want to be able to put gold on it, and so I have to test different paints, because I don't know if I'm going to want like spray paint. There's some metallic Sharpie markers I want to try. Oh, I didn't run that. Well, it's loose. It's just this inside piece isn't coming out. Oh, there we go. Gotta try to make sure the air can get in there so it'll release. Okay, the piece is in there. Again, it's broken, probably from shrinking. That's not too bad. Came out of there easy enough. Okay. And it doesn't seem to have stained the oil. I don't see anything from that on there. Now, this was the piece, it's supposed to be a coaster. And not very strong. Okay. And this was a piece, the pendant, I did not add water to. Just as fragile. Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to make it a little bit stronger. That's kind of cool though with the cutout piece. And now I have to remember not to set my standards too high for how strong these are gonna be. I mean, if you can handle them regularly. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't want this to break if I fall, but it's going to break if it falls. But so I'd say round 1 was successful. I knew it would take me a few times, but now I know that I want to make it a little bit of a thicker consistency so that when the water dries, it doesn't shrink any. The oil did not stain, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting that. There's a couple of methods I want to try for slowing down the drying out, and we'll see if that makes it stronger. And I can now test the painting, putting gold on. I can test that now. Oh yeah, I don't need to use nearly as much of the mixture that I did this time. I poured way too much water to start with. I will be starting a second round pretty soon because I gotta get this all worked out before I need to make a lot of them for the craft fairs, because that's my plan. So I will see you guys next time. And please remember, whenever you're doing something with, like, especially something like this, where it's like construction material or any kind of powders or anything, always wear face masks and gloves and read the safety precautions, because whatever you're making is not worth getting sick.